Optymyze's compensation plan application makes it easy to manage your compensation plans, and that starts with making it easy to understand them. That's done through the use of an informative flow diagram that shows me exactly how my plan is calculated. It starts with a roster. Who's on the plan? What roles? What positions? What employees are we paying? From there, how are we measuring the performance of those individuals? So in this case, we're taking a sum of revenue by month. That's being looked up against a component calculation, so in this case a tiered revenue attainment curve, that will finally result in a payment being generated for the specific people on the plan. This is a simple example, but even more complex plans are very easy and intuitive to understand using this flow diagram. So for a 3-component plan, we still have a roster of individuals on the plan, but now they're being measured in monthly quota attainment looked up against an interpolated payout curve. There's also a sale amount being looked up against a commission rate, and an average objective score being looked up against a tiered payout curve. All of these together will result in a final payment for the sales rep. Making changes to any of these rules is as simple as adding new measures of performance or adding new plan components to calculate compensation amounts, or modifying existing ones by simply selecting them from the flow diagram. If I want to make a change to my goal attainment metric, I can select it and do things like change the time period of the calculation. So I'm going to make this payout quarterly instead of monthly, or annually instead of monthly. The calculation type itself can also be changed leveraging the calculation library. So this is a goal attainment calculation right now, but I can make it a more complex ratio, a mathematical function over a function, so a margin calculation over a margin target. Or look at the value of every line item to look at revenue, sale amount, the margin calculation, or even do aggregations. So I don't want to look at every line item that I sell, but I want to look at the sum of all my product sales and apply a commission rate, or the average sale amount, or even provide time series to this information as well. So I want to look at how my average sale amount has changed from the same period 1 year ago. So am I growing my average sale overall? If so, I want to reward the sales rep. So a lot of flexibility. There are also statistical calculation types, ranking calculation types. And to add even more complexity to your plans, you can use modifiers. And modifiers are rules that get applied in addition to the base calculation type. And some common examples are floors and caps and hurdles. And another example is a qualifier. So if I'm only eligible for this quota piece if my customer satisfaction score meets a certain threshold, I can choose the qualifier metric, choose my customer satisfaction data, and then define what that minimum score is at which this rep becomes eligible for the plan. So very easy to use through the wizard-based interface. Changes to the component rules are just as easy to make. So for the commission rate plan, if we wanted to make a change to how we're actually paying out based on those sale amounts, I can choose my commission rate component, go to my library again, and now maybe I want to make it a tiered commission rate. So the more I sell, the higher my commission rate becomes. Build custom formulas through an expression builder, or even switch it to a payout curve. Can also apply modifiers at the calculation level as well, or at the component level as well. And then the final piece to being able to manage your plans is applying those payment level complexities as well. And we can do that through managing the payment piece. And this can include eligibility factors. So if you have eligibility you want to apply, simply select the checkbox and apply your rules. Prior period payments for making plans year to date. So if I want to make this a year to date quota plan, I can now define that my quotas are calculated for the year and will automatically subtract prior period payments from the results. And even apply draws and draw rules. Do we have guarantees, non-recoverable draws, or are our draws recoverable, in which case Optymyze will calculate your banks, will automatically withhold prior draws from future earnings, etc. All those plan complexities are handled automatically. And at the end of the day, once your rules are set up and defined and you have your flow diagram and your plan calculation, you're also going to automatically now generate your reports on the results. So I can look at the payments that are generated from any of these plans for any specific rep and individual. So here's the current period calculation amounts, and of course the history as well. So we can look at prior period earnings, all maintained for me automatically within the data repository.